Chapter 12 in HUGS, Hearts United Gather Strength. Dealing with the loss of trust. We've all been there. Someone has lied to you. Maybe it was a child. Maybe it was a friend, a spouse, a coworker. Maybe the lie was nothing that warranted a second thought. Maybe they never got caught. Maybe they did. Maybe it was a big lie, one that was hurtful, one that caused a significant change to your life and theirs. Right now, I bet a list of people that have hurt you come to mind. But you are guilty too. We have all told a lie or two, some more than others. Come on now. It's just you and the words on this page. If you can't be honest with yourself, you might want to find another book to read, because grief isn't your biggest problem right now. No matter how small or white you think it was, you have lied. Maybe you were a kid, excuse me, and you did it to escape trouble. Maybe you did it to spare someone's feelings. Maybe you did it to avoid embarrassment and shame. Whatever the reason, whatever the lie, you have lied. Once a lie is told, it starts. The doubts. Excuse me. If it's the first lie, you don't know it yet, but you are beginning to grieve. Just as in the loss of anything we experience, you start to go through the stages, and you don't go through them in any particular order either. Grief is experienced in our own way, so don't ever let anyone tell you what stage you are at or should be at. If you're the one who's been lied to, you go through shock and denial. Oh my God, I can't believe she or he lied to me. How could they do that? I trusted them. I have been here for them. How could they hurt me by lying to me? Pain and guilt. I am hurt by the fact that you lied to me. Maybe I did something or didn't do something to make you feel the need to tell me that lie. Maybe I didn't make you feel safe enough to be able to open up to me. Anger and bargaining. This can be a very dangerous phase in the process. It's at this stage that we either work towards forgiveness and clarity, or we choose not to trust them, but not to trust anyone again. I'm so mad at you for lying to me. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. Maybe you prove to me that I can trust you, but it will take time. It's at this point that maybe even unknowingly we start to make the other person pay for their lie. We might bring it up to them over and over. We might use it as a weapon whenever we start to feel threatened by them. Yeah, well, you lied and hurt me in all those weeks, months, or years ago. If a lie is being brought back up to you once you've been told that you've been forgiven, then you haven't truly been forgiven. And that person is still floating around in the stage of grief concerning that particular situation. And if they aren't able to move on from it, sadly, the relationship is doomed, because you can't recover unless the offended party chooses to truly forgive you. And that means letting it go and allowing the healing to take place. Without throwing guilt your way or hiding behind it whenever they feel the need to lower your own self-esteem so they feel better about something else. I'm telling you guys, this stage is the make or break of any relationship when it comes to getting through trust issues. Depression, reflection, and loneliness. Once at this stage, if you are feeling sad and are reflective about the situation and how it came about, even if you are isolating yourself from the person that lied to you for a short time, then you are on your way to healing. This isn't where you're asking why it happened. It's where you are actually starting to accept the flaws in the other person and realizing that you also have flaws. And maybe you will remember a time when you might have lied to them as well, or to another person, and you start to reflect on the damage that you yourself may have unknowingly and unwillingly caused. Let me say that again. You being able to accept that they and you are human. This doesn't mean you're accepting that it's okay to lie or be lied to. It just means that you no longer take it personally and you're choosing to forgive. People so often mistake forgiveness as if you're telling the other person that what they've done is okay. Nothing is farther from the truth. Forgiveness gives you peace of mind. It allows you to keep moving forward so that you are healthy and can have healthy relationships. As long as you hold on to unforgiveness, you can't grow. And any future relationships you may attempt to, be it friendship with children or those of intimate nature, those relationships will suffer and possibly fail, all because of those seeds of mistrust that were planted by someone else and you chose not to dig up and throw away. Excuse me. The upward turn or acceptance. This is a beautiful part of the grieving process. This is a beautiful part of the grieving process. You have dealt with the hard stuff, and at some point you take that deep breath and hold it for a moment and exhale slowly. And you might even shrug and say to yourself, "This happened. I didn't cause it to happen, but it happened. I can't go back and undo it." Then you smile. "I forgive them." At that point, it feels like the weight of the entire world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and the air you breathe even feels cleaner and fills your lungs easier. Congratulations, you have chosen to heal. After you get to the acceptance stage, you are actually filled with renewed hope for the future, whether it's a repaired relationship or the hope of a new one. Either way, whether you have decided to let go of that person or move on to someone or there's a page missing. Someone or something new, you will heal, and your new relationships won't start out tainted. And although you will still bring some baggage with you, we all do, it will be a little bit lighter for you and your new partner to bear. You can toss it aside rather than drag it around with you. Having said all that, I want to say this as well. If you are in a relationship with someone who has a repeat pattern of lying to you, then it's probably time to deal with the loss and accept and forgive for your sake and the sake of those closest to you. And either decide if you can live with this person in your life and never being able to trust them, or if it's time to remove that person from your life. But only you can make that decision, and only you must go through your individual process of grief. In conclusion, this has been my second and likely my last book about grief. As stated before, I am not a professional. I simply have written based on my own experiences. In conclusion, this has been my second and likely my last book about grief. As stated before, I am not a professional. I simply have written based on my own experiences and the experience of those who have so bravely shared with me. And there have been far too many of them. I have always written from the heart, and I believe that this is what causes others to connect with not just my books, but my poems and my blogs. It was not easy for those who have shared their stories with me to open up. Oftentimes, when we grieve, part of that process is to withdraw and be quiet. So I know, and it should be recognized, that it took great courage and strength for these folks to open up their hearts and share their grieving process with us. That hurt that lies in a place no one else can touch. In doing so, they have opened themselves up to healing their spirits and growing from their pain. I hope that you too have begun your journey to healing your own pain. Listen, whatever brings about our grief, while it does hurt, it also will not last. Grief is something we cannot get around. It's something we must walk through. In doing so, we come out stronger, gentler, and more compassionate And just maybe the next time someone you know and love feels the pain of grief, you will be able to share your story with them and help guide them toward their own direction and to help them find their own healing. And now I have a gift for you. What follows is a journal. It's a personal grief journal. This is my gift to you. Use it to write down whatever emotion you may be feeling during whatever struggle you are going through. Remember, it's okay to feel however you are feeling when you are feeling it. This is your grieving process, no one else's. No one can tell you how you should feel. Write just a few words or write several sentences or pages. Put this in a safe place, then go back and read what you've written later on and watch how you've grown. Grief is not to be feared. It's nothing to be ashamed of or hidden from others. We all have or will experience it. How we use it is up to us. It's a tool. Use it wisely and it will become part of your healing process. Good luck on your journey and many gentle hugs. And so in the back of this book, there are several pages where you can jot down your own grief journey. And then go back later, a couple of years later, a year later, several years later, and read what you've written and see how much you've grown. And it says My Grief Journey. So this book is available on Amazon. So you're getting a 2-for-1. You're getting this book that will hopefully help you realize that you're not alone in the things that you feel and in the grief that you go through. And hopefully will help teach you how to use grief as a tool. But you also get the journal at the end of the book. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading of HUGS, Hearts United Gather Strength, because we don't get over it, but sometimes we do need help getting on with it. And it is available on Amazon. Links in the description.